Hi, I'm Blisy.
Hey everyone, today I'm going to do an RNG abuse tutorial for how to RNG abuse stationaries in Pokemon Sun and Moon. Now, the first thing you need to know is if you've ever done RNG abuse in Gen 4 or Gen 5, it's very different from that, but it's actually fairly similar to how it works in Pokemon Emerald version. So the things you're going to need are Eon Timer right here. It's going to be at the Gen 3 tab. And you're going to also use the Pokemon Sun and Moon RNG tool, which I will link in the description. Now, this is in Japanese when you first have it downloaded, so you can switch it out of that language by going to here, clicking this, and there you go. So the way RNG abuse works in this is, in prior games, the way it worked was you would, besides Gen 3, so Gen 4 and 5, the way this worked was you'd change the date and time of your system, and that would change the initial seed, and we could figure out what the initial seeds would be by the date and time, so we could know exactly where everything was beforehand and manipulate the initial seed and stuff like that. Here, you can't know that, so you have to start the game, figure out what your initial seed is, and then from there you have to kind of guess. Like you use some information that the game gives you to find the initial seed, and then you search for seeds. That's what I'm saying. And so what we're going to be using is the save spinners from when you first boot up the game and go into the... you first boot up the game and you go to the... what am I looking for? The save select screen. So don't go to the save select screen just yet. I'm going to explain it. But you use the save needles from that to determine what seeds you're on, and then you can find. And what this does is it restricts searches. You're not going to have a lot of... you're not going to have as many options as you would have in Gen 4 or Gen 5. But the beauty of this is hyper training exists, and you can still use this to get the nature you want, plus a hidden power you want, and then hyper train the rest of the stats. I've already found 3 Pokemon in such a manner, and I'm going to be doing Tapu Fini right now. And Tapu Fini, in my opinion, is one of the harder Pokemon to get, because there is an NPC in the area, and NPC changed the frames. This method only works for the 4 Tapus, Megarnia, and type Null. I think it works for Zygarde, I'm not sure, I'll have to check for you. So let's, without further ado, let's get into the method. So we're going to open up Sun and Moon RNG Finder. I'm going to scroll this down like this, because this is, what's relevant is the clocks. So I'll show you in a second what the clock is, but it's right before your portrait loads. So what we're going to be doing is click the end position, and we're going to watch the clock, and right when it stops before your trainer's portrait appears is when we're gonna look at it. So I guess let's just begin that part. So here we go. I'm gonna hit A, and we're gonna watch for the clock. Alright, and we have to do this check 8 times. That one was pretty clearly this. Click that to me. Oof, that one was this, I think. It could have been the straight one, though. And the thing about this is it's hard to... It goes very quickly, so I like to record it and kind of look at it afterwards just in case I make a mistake, because that has been known to happen. And you can kind of just go back and fix your mistakes if it says not found. So you could do is you could rewatch the video of you doing this and retry it. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I've gone and rewatched the video, and I've re-entered my clocks here. And so you could record it with a recording program like I am, or you could just do it with your cell phone. It's not a big deal. You just kind of pause buffer to see where you're at and see if you can get any initial seed candidates here. And the great part about this is leaving it on this screen, it won't advance the frame, it won't change your seed, it won't do anything. So it just kind of freezes it in time, which is pretty sweet. So I have 2 seed candidates now. So what I have to do is go back and do it again. I just have to do one more clock check. So that was pretty clearly this one. And there you go, and I'm going to go do one more just to be safe that I have not messed anything up again. Right, that was this one. And there you go. So that, since it's 2 past 8, I've got 10 here, and it's still saying the seed, that means I'm unequivocally correct. So what you're going to do is look down here and remember this 427. Just put that 427 over here. Ignore all of this for now. I have to kind of, that should be blank, but I have to kind of clear it out. So type 427 here is the minimum, and it'll automatically transfer your seed that you got here over to this thing, so that's good. Then we are going to be looking for a Pokemon, and we could, so this here, this box, is the frames it's searching for. So the minimum frame is 427 because that is the frame we're currently on. And I'm going to actually hit search here. It'll tell you. So, and it'll show you everything that's kind of coming up. And the maximum frame it's going to display is up to 3000, and that's just what it'll search for. So 3000 is like not very long. It's like a minute and a half or something. It's how many frames? It's about 1 frame moves every 30 seconds, I think it is. So, oh no, it's not that. It's like the other way around. It's like for every 1 second, there's 30 frames. I think that's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. So that means you got to be kind of quick with your button presses. You got to be, you kind of got to, because you have no control over where your advancement is, and you can't stop the advancement yourself. It's just existing on the overworld is 1 frame. Or is 30 frames every second. So you just have to be fast with your button presses, and you just wait. So the way you advance the frames is you start up the game and you wait. That's it. So that's what I meant by you won't have too many controls over your spreads, so you could have to wait a while, to be honest with you, to get anything decent. And if I searched for in this default frame range for 31 everything, I don't even think I'd get a 31 everything for any nature at all. You see what I mean? So let alone it. So I think the best way to search for it is, if you want a hidden power and a nature, you type the nature. I want bold. And I don't want a hidden power, but you would do this. You would do your hidden power, whatever hidden power you want. Let's say I wanted ice. I don't know what type of Finny would need it. And that's what you're going to get. You're going to get something like that. I don't care about my hidden power, though. And since I don't care about my hidden power, I can care to get a little more specific. I'm also willing to wait a bit longer. 50,000, that's like a half hour, okay? I'm giving myself some good stuff. So what I'm going to do here is see if I can get any 31 alls from a half hour wait at bolt. No, I can't. Can I get any 31 alls in 50,000? I can. So now I have to scroll through some spreads here. What do I get? I get anything good? A timid 31 all here is pretty good. I don't really want a timid Tapu Fini. What's this be, like 80, 85? I'd rather like a defensive one, huh? So none of these are great, to be honest with you. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna do bold, because I'm willing to hypertrain this thing, yeah. So I'm gonna do bold. Where's that? Bold. I want a 5 attack. And I'm willing to just let everything be 0 here, because 3 stats are going to be perfect anyway. So this is guaranteeing a nature of bold, and I'm actually just going to guarantee a 0 attack, and we'll search. So there we go. We got some bolds. And these ones down here you'd have to wait a while for, but the positive is, holy... Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. And I'll explain this in a second, kind of. So what you're looking for when you're looking for a good spread is if you're gonna hypertrain, you gotta hypertrain. So stats aren't too big of a factor, except for the 0 that I want here. So the way you look for frames is you want to look for several in a row. So you want to look for Pokemon that are all the same in a row, because since you can't control and stop when you want to, it's nice to have a buffer. So if you take a look at these 3 spreads here, they're all the same exact Pokemon. So that means I have like a 3-frame window to get what I want. And 14,000 isn't too high. If I look here, though, these 2 are both the same. And it's much lower. So these ones are also pretty good in a row. This is like 4 in a row. That's really good as well. But that's quite a while's wait. That I don't... Oh, but I only have to hypertrain 1 stat. That's another big positive. But 45, that's like almost a half hour, and if I miss that, I don't want to miss it. So for the sake of this video, since I'm recording the video, and look, if you look at this one here, this is another 4 in a row, it looks like. Oh, no, nope, it's just 3 in a row. Just 3 in a row. That's interesting. It is 4 in a... This is the frame before this one, and despite the fact that they're not the same Pokemon, it's still, like, doable in a sense. So this is 4 in a row, essentially, as well. This one looking like it's 4 in a row as well. But these are really high, so you can kind of go for that if you're really, really willing to wait. But if I just want to be quick, I'm going to go for this one, which is 2 in a row. Oh, not this one. These two are 2 in a row. So that means if I miss this one, I get the second one. So that's good. So I'm going to copy this seed here. I'm going to go back to the needle section. I'm going to paste that seed here. Whoops, I copied bold. Oh, I copied everything. My bad, guys. You want to just paste the number, the frame. Paste that here. Then for Tapu Fini, there's 1 NPC. And then you hit calculate. And there you go. You set Eon Timer to this one here. You set that to 7844. Okay, that's 131 seconds. So the number of NPCs changes based on which one you're going for. Tapu Fini is the only one with any NPC in the area. The other Tapus all have 0 NPCs, and I don't know the amount of NPCs for the other one. I think Type Null has like 8, and Megarnia has 4, maybe? I'm not positive. You have to check that on your own. Your timer 0 for the for Eon Timer, the pre-timer set to 2900 minus 2976 for reasons I'll explain later. And for my target frame, I have what it told me to do here. So then I'm going to hit A on the start menu, go back to Eon Timer, then I'm going to hit A on here and Eon Timer at the same time. There you go. So then you talk to this, and it'll go up and it'll say Tapu Fini. And now you wait for Eon Timer to count you down. So I'm going to pause the video. So 15 seconds left, and one thing I forgot to mention is you wait on this dialog box. I know it seems obvious, but this is where you wait and you hit A when timer 0 hits 0 and start the battle. Uh-oh, I got to keep it up here. Okay, and the battle starts. And now we gotta go catch the Tapu Fini and hope it's the correct one. You got my little Magby boy. Use Master Ball here. Nope. He's going to try and evolve. I will not let him. No. You stay exactly how you are, Magby. Leave it. Stay. Stay, tiny boy. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is check Tapu Fini's stats and stuff, and we'll see where we're at with it. No nicknames yet. Alright. So this is how we determine if we got the right Pokemon or not. So the first thing is check Fini and see what its nature is. So I'm a Jolly nature. Obviously that's not the one I want, so this is how we're going to find out what we did wrong. I'm going to go back to here. Okay. Okay, so we're going to have to change all these parameters. We're going to have to change this to Jolly because that's what we're looking for. We're going to paste the target frame here. Alright, we're going to paste this frame here. update, which, oh, we're going to actually do this, plus minus 200. We're going to hit update, and that searches for a range between minus 200 and above 200 of what the frame we were aiming at, which was 6560. Then we're going to hit search. So there's quite a bit of jollies we could have hit. So what we're going to do is narrow it down even more by looking at my Tapu Fini stats, which are, so you hit search by stats, and you do, you type in your stats. It's pretty simple. 4, 113, 155, 121, 179, 137. Then you hit search again. Oh, that's Tapu Koko. I'm looking for Tapu Fini. Excuse me. Hit search again. Alright, so that means it was one of these two. So we were off by... Oh, wow, we were off by, like, a very small amount. We were off by 4 or 5 frames, or 4 or 3 frames. So we're going to assume we were off by the further one 4. So what we do here is... that means we have to change our timer 0 just... Or not our timer 0, our Eon timer just a little bit here. So we open up a calculator. We do 4 divided by 30. So you get this result, and you're going to take that 1.33, and since you were 4 frames behind, you're going to want to add it above. You're going to want to add it to the number. So the way you figured out is 2976. You just do 2.976, and then you add 0.134, and I'm rounding. I'm doing the addition. I'm doing it wrong in the video because I did it wrong. It's so if it's a negative number, it says you're shifting by you're minus a certain number of frames. You do the division, and then whatever that number is divided by 30, you add to the sum of your pre-timer. If you're above it, if you are 40 frames above or 4 frames above, you still divide it by 30, and you would subtract that from the sum of your pre-timer. It's pretty simple. So here it is again. And I did the math wrong there again. I did 1.3 for some reason instead of 0.13, but you get the idea. So the point is, it's minus 4 frames, so I do 4 divided by 30, I get 0.13, then I add that to the sum of my pre-timer, as, and if it was above it, I would still do 4 divided by 3, but then I would subtract it. Okay, sorry about that mix-up. Thank you. Alright, it's clock time. Ooh, luckily I saw that one. That was a 14. Oh boy, that was close, baby. It's pretty clearly this one. Getting a real sicko's Tapu Fini. It's a Tapu Fini character. Don't know if that's right. I think that 5 is a fraud. It should be a 4. That one's not the 5. The whatever. Okay, here we go. This is wrong. That seed 4362. It's a fraud. Oh yeah, I knew that. Okay, I fixed my mistakes and found my seed. So let's get a search underway, baby. Bold 550 thou, baby. Alright, what do we got? No, garbage. Do I got nothing in a row here? There nothing good. 6, 7, 8, 9. No, you're good. That's the best I got. Okay, so I'm gonna do A638. Question is, do I want this this Eon timer as my pre-timer? No. that one felt pretty good. You want the counter to finish beeping as your game screen loads up. So I'm going to pause the video, wait for this one to count down. See you in a minute. Alright, 10 seconds left. I feel decent about this one, I gotta be honest. Oh boy. Alright, it's the countdown finishing. I'm going to pause the capture process because it takes forever because my MagB level's up. Okay. Let's hope I have the correct one. Let's see here. Pokemon, please be 172 health. Oh boy, here we go. This looks like it might be it. I might have finally done it, everyone. And we have my bold Tapu Fini. Excellent. So if you look on screen, here, I'm going to minimize Eon Timer. So if you look on screen, you see it's bold, and you can just barely see the last. Actually, I could scroll this up a little bit. Oop. This is one of the ones I was aiming for. It was like pretty hard to miss. It was like 5 in a row. It should have the same exact stats as this. 172. It should still be in frame. All the stats. 172, 87, 119, 179, 110. So there you go. This one's kind of shitty. It's only got. It's fine. I just have to use 2 bottle caps, but it's perfect. This is exactly what I was looking for. Yeah, so I hope this helps. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I tried to be as thorough as I could in terms of the stationary abuse. I'm going to film myself trying out Zygarde, see how that one works out, but I'll let you know afterwards. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later.